Hi, this is Beth Overhouse for Central Kentucky Television, and I'm in Central Kentucky on a farm, the Breezy Ridge Farm, with Debbie Mattingly. Hello, Debbie.
Hi.
Now, you've got quite the view from where we're standing right now, and just about everywhere you look, you can see some farmish things, like fields that have been tilled, cows over across the way, hay that's been baled, but most importantly, right behind us, we have a lot of sheep. What do you have back here?
We've got 130 head of sheep here, our ewes. The white-faced ones are all mine. They're basically Cheviot ewes or the Dorset or the Cheviot Dorset cross. My son Kevin, he owns all the black-faced, and they're the Suffolk breed. And he has some that are Suffolk Cheviot cross, and he has a few Dorset ewes. And right now we've got 70 lambs left. Everything is lamb, but we've already sold 2 groups of lambs. And today we're going to shear.
Now that's a big prospect, isn't it,
Right.
to shear all that wool? How much wool do you generally get each season?
Oh gosh, it depends on the breed of sheep you have. Like I have the little white face here, they're the Cheviots. They usually put out probably 6 or 8 maybe pounds of wool a piece, and the big black face can probably do close to that. And we have a few sheep here that are the hair breed crossed with the Cheviots. Now they will shed themselves, and we don't keep that wool because it's not spinnable for the spinners and what have you. But
do you ship your wool away for processing?
well, actually, the guys that are coming down and shearing for us, they're from up in Ohio, and there's a big wool collection place up there, and they'll take the wool back with them, and they'll take it to the wool collectors, and they'll go through it and sort it and grade it and throw away what they can't use, and then they'll send a check back to us and send us how many pounds we actually have sent off.
So you really have to trust your shearers.
Right,
You have
right.
to believe that they're not going to pull the
Yeah.
wool over your eyes.
Right. No, they're good, honest people. I have to say. Okay, here we got Bill on the left, and we got Gavin on the right. Bill's from Ohio, Gavin's from Wisconsin, and they've got 2 other brothers that usually come down, but they're out with another groups right now. But they're shearing, and this is what they do. They set up their shearing outfit. They got it laid there on a piece of platform where the wool won't get dirty in with the dirt and straw. But they'll take that wool and stuff it up in a bag and get it good and tight. Right here in the corner is the wool that we have sheared off our sheep today. And what these guys would do is take these bags of wool home with them. They'll take it up to Ohio, some town, I forget what. And what this town would do, it's a wool collector place. They'll take the wool and they'll lay it out, they'll grade it and sort it, and they'll send us a check back for whatever it's worth. As you can see, these guys here shearing the sheep have got them setting up on their butts. And that's normally how people will shear a sheep, because once you get them up on their rear ends like that, they pretty much can't go nowhere. And they'll stick one leg through using their legs, and if they want to handle her, they'll grab her by under the jaw there. They're real easy to handle like that. And it takes probably less than 3 minutes for these guys to shear one. Okay. See, when they go to grab one, they'll just grab them by the jaw, and you can control the sheep by holding your hand up under their jaw and just drag them back, and you twist that head and grab a flank on one side, and it flips them right up on their butt ends like that. And it takes probably, these guys, it probably don't take over 3 minutes at the most, sometimes not even that, to shear a sheep. Actually, they have been in the national sheep shearing contest, and both of these guys have won the national contest here. I think one in Colorado, I think maybe one up in the western states, and in Ohio I know they've won, but they're really a good group of sheep shearers. I think this guy here is the second generation, the guy on the left. His dad started, he shears, and they have a nephew that shears also. So this is what all our sheep look like after they've had their hair cut for the year. It used to be old timers sheared them twice a year because wool back then was worth a whole lot of money, but now wool's not worth much, so we just shear once a year. We usually wait until at least May or the 1st of June. That way that'll serve the purpose to where they won't get too hot. But I know they all feel better, but they do a good job.
Well, let me ask you this. Are the sheep happy to be sheared?
Oh, yes.
They seem to like that weight off of them?
Yes, especially with the hot weather we are having right now. It's just like wearing around a winter coat, you know, during the summer. So actually, to shear sheep, though, it has to be warm for at least 2 or 3 weeks in a row, because when it starts to get warm up in late spring or early summer, that wool actually has an oil up against the skin, and that makes it easier for the sheep shearers to do their job.
Okay,
it just slides right through.
Right.
And so that's why we usually wait until May or the 1st of June. These are 2 of our 3, Katie, come here, border collies, and they herd the sheep and the cows, and they actually do a pretty good job. And one of them's not here right now. Jo says she's down to the barn with Mark still milking. Charlie, come here. Katie, come here. Go back there and get them. Go down and get behind them. Go down and get behind them. Bring them up to the barn. Come on, get behind them, Katie. Come on, get behind them. Come here, Charlie. Come here, Charlie. Come on, get them in the barn. Get them in. Get them in there. Come on, Charlie. Go around and get them. Get them in. Come on, Charlie. Get behind them. Behind them, Katie. Come here, Katie. Come over here and get them. Get them over. Come here. Get them in there. Come on, get them in there. Get them in there. Come on, get them in there. Get around, Charlie. Get them in there. Come here, Katie. Get them in there. Come on, Katie. Come here. Come on, get them in there. Get them in there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good, Charlie.
Breezy Ridge Farm is a self-sustaining lifestyle for Debbie and Mark Mattingly. Farming has been in the Mattingly family for 4 generations, and much has changed over the decades with technology and advancements in animal husbandry. Kevin and Travis Mattingly both hold degrees in ag economics, and Kevin now helps Debbie and Mark run the farm. Sarah Beth Mattingly married Dooley Wright, who is also a dairy and grain farmer, keeping farming in the family for another generation. In addition to caring for the herd of sheep, the Mattingleys run a dairy operation, including 90 head of dairy cows. They also raise chickens for eggs and frying, have a flock of ducks, which help keep the pond flowing during the freeze of winter, and have several goats, whose fleece is also sheared yearly. They have several dogs, some who herd the sheep and cattle, and others, such as these Great Pyrenees, which provide protection from coyotes, foxes, and wild dogs. They grow their own produce in the family garden plot, canning and preserving much for winter. They also raise corn and other feed for their animals. As with any family farm, many animals found on the farm are pets, such as this cat. The Mattingleys have had school groups to their farm since it is so reminiscent of the old family farms, which have become more and more rare. I thoroughly enjoyed my visit to the Breezy Ridge Farm.